Assalamu alaikum dear students, I am Sarimat Qasim. Today we are going to start a very well-known novel, The Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. As you can see on your screen, we have made some bullets. By the help of bullets, you will understand the idea very well. Let's start from the introduction. This story happens in early Victorian England around 1837 to 1850. At this time, the country was changing fast. It was becoming richer and more developed. Many people were rich and did not work at all. However, many more people were poor. These poor, both adults and children, had to work hard. There was a big difference between the lives of rich people and poor as well. The starting lines of the introduction are saying that between 1837 to 1850, the country was being changed very fast because the people were moving from poverty to rich standard. However, this introduction is also describing that there is also a poor people who had to work hard a lot, whether they are young or old, because there is a big difference between rich people and poor. In introduction, we are going to see the characters. The main character is Pip, a sad young boy whose parents are dead. Pip lives with her sister and her husband. They don't have much money, and Pip's sister is often mean to him. In this story, The Great Expectation, there is a main character of Pip, whose parents have died. He lives with her sister and her husband. However, her sister becomes a mean often. Mean means cruel. Pip dreams of escaping his hard life and becoming a gentleman. One day his dream comes true. A mysterious person gives Pip a lot of money. This is what gives Pip his the great expectations. Here, students, we can say that the story starts by the name The Great Expectations. He moves to London and learns to become a gentleman. Pip is happy to leave his home and his old life. His new life brings many changes, but Pip find out his dream is not what he had imagined. After leaving his house, Pip thought that he will become a gentleman, but in starting days, he thought that whatever he had imagined, the condition is not like that. Let's see the last lines of introduction. What are they describing? Someone gives Pip a lot of money to become a gentleman. List some reasons why a person would do this. How do you think Pip changes when he becomes a gentleman? What do you think his dream is not what he had imagined means? What would you do if someone gave you a lot of money? Would it change your life? There are a lot of questions in ending of introduction. Okay, we are going to start and discuss a life of very well-known author, Charles Dickens, who is a writer of Great Expectations. Charles Dickens was a very popular writer who lived in England in the 19th century. He was born in 1812 in Landport and spent his childhood in Kent. He had 7 brothers and sisters, and he was the second child in the family. His father had many debt and was put in the prison when Charles was about 12. Dear students, the starting lines are saying that the Charles Dickens was a very popular writer. He was born in 1812. However, he spent his childhood life in the Kent. Then after, he had 7 brothers and sisters. However, he was the second child in his family. Means he has to be responsible for his family, because his father has many debt and was put into the prison. when the Charles was 12. Charles Dickens had to earn money for his family by working at his relative factory, labeling bottles for 6 shillings a week. He attended a day school at the same time. 2 years later, he left school and worked hard at the lawyer's office. When he was going through the school life, he had to leave the school just because he had to support his family. After leaving the school, he went and joined the lawyer's office. He taught himself shorthand when he was 16 because he wanted to be a reporter. When he became at 19, he became one of the quickest and most accurate reporter in London. Later, he worked as an editor and a writer. After spending some time at lawyer's office as a student, Charles Dickens became a very quickest and most accurate reporter in London when he was 19 and worked hard as an editor and a writer. Then after what happened? Let's read. Dickens never stopped writing after he published his first novel, The Pickwick Papers, in 1836 to 37. Usually he published a chapter of a novel every month. He wrote 15 novels in total, the most popular ones including Oliver Twist, A Christmas Carol, David Copperfield, A Tale of Two Cities, and The Great Expectations. His own favorite novel was The David Copperfield, in which his own life is reflected. Dickens spent most of his time in London. He died of a stroke in 1870. He was buried in Westminster Abbey. Dear students, the second paragraph of the Charles Dickens are saying that the second paragraph is saying about the Charles Dickens that after publishing a first novel, he did not stop himself. He used to publish novels, but his one of the favorite novel is David Copperfield. After spending the whole life in London, he also died at London in 1870 at Westminster Abbey. Before going to the end, I want to tell you something that inshallah in next video we will start the first chapter of Great Expectation. Till then, take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.